Hi everyone, how are you doing today? This is Mr. Chow from EnglishTuition.org. Now in today's video, we're going to discuss a very interesting topic, and that's using formulas in order to succeed in English, right? But I'm sure you have the question at the back of your head, right? Does it really work, all right? And then why are there so many formulas flying around, right? Which one is the best one, right? Which one really works? So we will come to answer that near the end of the video. So be sure to watch the entire video. So let's get started. Okay, first let's take a look at what are the advantages of using formulas when we try to learn English. Okay, first of all, it provides some kind of structure and support, right? A lot of students, when they're asked to maybe do a piece of writing, they don't know where to start, right? Be it situation writing or short composition or essay for secondary school students. They don't know what to write, right? So having a formula provides some kind of support, provide some kind of structure, like building a house, and then you can build upon that structure. So that's one good benefit. Okay, second, it helps with the memorization, right? So all you need to do is to memorize the formula and then try to apply it to the English question during the exams. Well, that's arguable, okay, but I think it does help to a certain extent, right? If you can remember the structure, that's a good way to start your essay. That's a good way to start your letter writing, your speech, all right? So it does help, right, to a certain extent, okay? And it supposedly provides some form of certainty, right? Because a lot of students, they hate English as a subject because the question changes, right? And they're not very sure if the answer that they've written will be accepted or not. So it's not like mathematics where you have a strict formula, if your answer is 10, your answer is 10, right? Nobody can argue and say that the answer is incorrect, okay? But for English, there are some gray areas, right? Meaning they are open to interpretation, all right? So your understanding of a certain word or a phrase may not be the same, right, as what the examiner is looking for. So as a result, you may lose a mark here and you may lose a mark there. Okay, so having a formula provides students with, well, some form of certainty because it helps them feel more confident, right? They go into the exam, they feel that, oh, now I have this formula. As long as I apply that formula, I am going to succeed in English, right? But as we all learn, okay, that's not always true, okay? Okay, and the fourth advantage of using formulas is that sometimes it just helps to save time. Okay, so let's imagine you're writing a piece of essay, okay, and you don't have a structure to follow, and you're not familiar with the points or the arguments, and then you have to rely on your imagination and think on the spot. So the brainstorming process itself can take up a lot of time, right? And how do you organize the essay? There's no structure, okay? But if you have a formula, okay, what do you write for the essay? You have a formula for writing a conclusion. You have a formula for writing an introduction. You can just follow the formula and it helps you save a lot of time, okay? So formulas are useful, right? Okay, nobody can debate that, but to some extent, okay. But there are downsides to using formulas as well. And before you just jump on the bandwagon and think that, well, I should use formulas all the time, right? Take a look at the downsides as well. So here are the cons. Okay, first of all, now we have formulas, right? And the formulas are something that maybe your tutor have came up with, or you went to a tuition center and you learn these new formulas about English. So instead of just grammar rules and vocab, now you have more stuff to memorize. So on top of the usual formulas, the usual new words that you have to learn, you have to learn even more, right? More formulas to memorize. And sometimes this reduces the flexibility of the students. In other words, students become more rigid when they are responding to questions. In other words, they think of formulas as hard and fast rules that they must follow. I have to follow these formulas, otherwise, I may lose a lot of marks. I may fail my exam. Okay, this is the formula that has been proven to work. That's why it's called a formula. So I have to follow it 100% of the time. Doesn't that sound very rigid to you? So there's a danger that if the question changes, all right, and the students are not able to adjust, right, they lose that flexibility, okay, and then they just blindly apply the formulas, that's where they risk making a mistake, or the essay or the situation writing, the entire paragraph, their points may be out of point, okay, simply because they just apply the formula blindly without reading the questions carefully. Again, finally, there's always the danger of students forgetting the formula altogether, right? So if you forget the formula, then you wouldn't even know what to do, right? That's the danger of relying on formulas for success in English, okay? Okay, now that we have discussed the pros and cons, right? Let's do a quick assessment of using formulas. How useful are they? Now, let's start with understanding the end goal, and keep the end goal in mind, right? Now, the purpose, the end goal that we are trying to achieve for all the lessons that you're attending, okay, is for you, when you go to the exam, you want to be able to read and understand the questions, right, accurately, and provide reasonably intelligent answers, of course with correct grammar. Okay, that's the end goal, and we should always keep that in mind, right? Our learning for English must always aim to accomplish this goal, so that we are not memorizing formulas blindly. Okay, we want to read and understand the questions accurately. Okay, so you cannot skip this step. Okay, so can formulas really help us to achieve the above goal consistently, right? That's the question that we're trying to answer. Well, you may be surprised with the answer, right? Because the answer is yes and no, right? It all depends. Depends on what, right? So let's take a look at what students need to remember, right? They need to remember grammar rules, first of all. Of course, they need to remember the spelling, when to use certain punctuation, and of course, all the answering techniques that have been taught to them in class, right? So the question, do you always need a formula to help you remember the above, right? So I think you know the answer to that question. Yes and no, right? In some cases, it's better to have a formula. In some cases, no, right? So I would say that the most effective way, okay, and that's my teaching approach, okay, is to use a combination of formulas and the direct approach, right? So I would say it's like 80% direct approach plus a little bit of formulas, 20% formulas, just in case students forget, certain techniques or certain style of writing. I do teach certain formulas to them. Okay, but 80% of the time, if they're able to achieve the result that's expected from them, then I just tell them, okay, so this is what you need to do, step 1, step 2, step 3, and you are done, right? We keep it simple, keep it direct. Okay, you don't have to have one more additional step where what's the formula, right? Okay, you don't have to recall any fancy formulas. Okay, so that is my preferred approach. So now it comes to the question, right? So why are there so many formulas flying around? Okay, first of all, it's good advertising, especially for those tuition centers, right? The formulas are revolutionary, right? They are packaged as high-tech formulas, cutting-edge information, etc. Well, the truth is, you don't need many formulas in order to succeed in English, right? What you need is practice. This is very important to keep in mind. Let me repeat. You don't need many formulas in order to succeed in English. So what you need is practice. Okay? So with that, we have come to the end of the video, right? So part of the English tuition lessons that I provide, okay, is aimed at creating all these opportunities for students to be able to practice their English. Okay, not just reading and writing, okay, but also listening and speaking, okay, which improves their oral. Okay, so with that, we come to the end of the video, right? That's it. Okay, that's the end. Final. All right, so if you think that you have enjoyed the video, please remember to leave a like and a subscribe. And if you're interested, to sign up for English lessons, do visit englishttuition.org. And then when you attend the lesson, you will get a ton of opportunities for you to practice and improve your English, maybe a little bit of formulas. All right, so with that, thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.